Oh, probably. Yeah.
I've heard better claps in my day.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't want to disparage what we've done here today, but
Okay.
I've heard
Do you
better.
find something funny when I'm driving my automobile?
Automobile.
Hey, look, everybody. It's that boy who likes to laugh at people.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
You're a pony.
Really?
You're a phony.
That's a different show.
Different show.
That's
Maybe for you.
Running gag though.
It's all part of the big show called My Life.
Oh,
It was running gag. There's no running involved. There was no
the
running
plan.
gag.
No. Yeah. Hello and welcome to episode 644 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from Canada, Mr. Greg Seward.
Hola.
How's it going?
It's pretty good. I went and saw Captain Marvel.
Yeah?
Yeah?
It's a good film.
Oh, is that the one with the girl?
Yeah, it's got all the SJW going on.
Oh, God.
It's a girl.
She beats up men, too.
First they came for my Ghostbusters. Then they came for my Star Wars. Then they came for my Doctor Who. What won't these
Wait, Doctor who? Doctor Who?
females do next?
I don't know.
Captain Marvel was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah. It's
Not my favorite Marvel movie.
No. But is good.
You know what I think the biggest problem with it was? I mean, besides the female lead was
And
this is all sarcasm.
let's go ahead and clear this up that you are kidding.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Right now.
No, you know what I think the biggest problem is
If
because
this is somebody's first time listening to the show, I'm sorry.
And
I'm
you know what?
sorry.
If you're gonna jump in, episode 644 is as good of a starting point as any.
That's where I would personally jump in.
Yeah.
Yes.
no, I think like the more I thought about it, the more I thought like again, good movie, not my favorite. I think the biggest problem it had nothing to do with the the character or anything like that, but origin stories are boring now.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what though? To be fair, I thought they did her origin in a pretty interesting way.
no, I liked how they handled it. I think it was a good way to handle it. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I mean, spoilers, I guess, but I think they handled it as well as they could, considering we've got 20 years of movies behind us now.
Right.
And and I'm not saying origin stories can't be good anymore, but in the
20
MCU,
years of what stories? Are you talking Marvel stories?
You're talking about Marvel movies?
10 years.
10 years.
Let's
Yes.
say 20 years. We get 20 movies of Marvel
That
stories.
seems to be, that
behind
seems
us. I
about
think
right.
this is the
Yeah.
20th.
Is it really?
I think so. It's been a lot.
A lot of these things.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you go back and look, it's like Iron Man, Hulk, Thor,
Right.
Captain America. Their origin stories were all done before the first Avengers movie.
Right.
Those were the first four or five movies, right? So it's been quite a while before I've had to go through a lot of origin story stuff. But I think they handled it really well. Like as far as Captain Marvel went, it was much. It wasn't the standard linear point A to point B.
Right. Yeah.
origin
There is
story, which is nice.
you have the again, minor spoilers. There's kind of an amnesia element to it, and we're learning her origin alongside Carol. Yeah.
And it's, I mean, when you look at the fact that you've come off something like Infinity War recently, last year, excuse me, where that had its own problem where there was almost too much action crammed into that one movie.
Right.
But it's like that was all action all the time, right from the word go.
Right.
Whereas this one has a lot of, dialogue giving you her origin when it's like, you're kind of like, oh man, nothing's really happened for like 20 minutes here.
Right.
So,
yeah,
but still really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it sets up the final film really well. So
end game.
Yeah,
I see. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Yeah, so I went and saw Captain Marvel.
Oh God,
again? Last night.
I love doing this to you every week.
And
I do it on purpose,
I know you do.
Okay,
you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see it when it's out on demand. and so and I can buy a digital.
What is wrong?
I don't go to the theater anymore.
Why don't you go to the theater anymore? Your daughter would love to go to the theater.
I'm sure she would.
Why don't you?
Would she like Captain Marvel? You think is it appropriate for?
It could be a little scary for my 6-year-old didn't go see it.
Okay. I think she could probably handle it.
But
if she's watched the movie Clue, you think?
Well, I mean, considering
Gremlins.
I mean, haven't you shown her like?
Yeah, actually, you've shown her a lot of really inappropriate things. So
I don't know.
This is the unrated cut of RoboCop.
Well, the unrated cut of RoboCop.
If you're gonna watch Daddy play Friday the 13th, we really got to sit down and watch all of them, honey.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're not.
She has not watched me play Friday the 13th.
But
she hasn't gotten through all the movies yet.
She has seen all of the films. No.
Yeah, see, you won't understand Jason's motivation if you don't have all the film under your belt.
What did you find scary? There was a movie recently, The House with the Clock in its Walls.
Yeah, I could see
that. She thought it was too
scary.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as far as Captain Marvel goes,
she was scared of Jack Black.
There's some gore. It's alien gore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's blue blood gore kind of thing. Right. But there is some.
No, I mean, but again, she's watched Gremlins. Gremlins has got little
Galaxy
monsters.
Quest.
Gremlins had more gore in it.
Gremlins has monsters blowing up and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Hideous melting faces things. She'd be fine with Captain Marvel, and she'd probably love Captain Marvel.
She probably would. You're right.
And you know what? Right. It's got there's a little girl in it. There's a little girl character in it as well. Is Carol's best friend's daughter ends up being a fairly major minor character.
Lieutenant Trouble?
Yes. Trouble. And it's got an adorable kitty in it.
That was really cute. Actually, the relationship between them was really cute.
I know, right? Between Carol and the kid.
Trouble.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, my 6-year-old went didn't go because she didn't want to go. It wasn't because I deemed it to be too scary for her.
Right.
She decided. We talked about it because we've watched some other Marvel movies as well, and she found them scary.
Okay.
So we went and saw Jumanji together as a family, and she really didn't like Jumanji. The new one, yeah.
The new one, okay.
She really didn't like it because she found the villain to be very scary.
Wow, boy, between your kid not liking Jumanji and CJ's kid not liking the house clock, kids hate Jack Black is what I'm getting.
Jack Black wasn't the character she was scared of. You know what? It wasn't that movie that did it.
What's that?
You've seen the new Jumanji, right?
I have not.
Okay, well, at one point, the villain, he had as the movie progresses, he gets more grotesque.
Okay.
At one point, he has insects crawling over him.
Okay.
The scene was there was an insect that crawled out of his, like a beetle crawls out of his mouth and around his face.
Yeah.
And that was, I think that was the moment where she was like, I don't like this.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I can identify with that because the movie Halloween 3.
I've never seen it.
Season of the Witch.
Which I have never actually seen all the way through.
Because of this scene?
On Siskel and Ebert, I think they were showing a clip of the movie during
they used to do.
Now their lighthearted review show.
Halloween, hold on a second. Halloween 3 came out for a frame of reference, that came out in 1982. So you were probably
like
4? You were 5. Okay.
So this is what we're talking about.
This comes on the air.
Uh-huh.
This comes on the air. Well, this was again a time when you had 4 channels and you watched Siskel and Ebert before the nightly news or whatever. Anyway, and they showed a clip of the scene where there's like a secret message shown on the television, and inside this Halloween mask, this kid is at first like dancing around to the tune, then turns around and bugs start coming out of the mask, and that just really scarred me.
I don't like stuff like that either at all.
Scarred me for life.
Yeah,
at 5 years old. Well, I couldn't. Not into it. No, had to look away.
I would have no problem showing
Halloween 3
or Halloween 3 to my son. Also he loves Jack Black. We he is a big Tenacious D fan.
Jesus.
And
of course you watch that the few sketches that he was on Mr. Show.
Yeah. No, he loves the
Don't put your dick in these holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah, he's way into
you want to do it.
Way into it.
The joke, the musical.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Coupon the movie.
Coupon the movie.
I don't was Jack Black in Coupon the movie?
No,
I know, no, but I just
now we're just naming.
Yeah, I just
no.
at the end of the show now.
At the end of the sketch, he's like, "It was a movie."
Yeah, that's right. He's one of the testimonials.
Oh, was he one of? Was he one of them?
Testimonial.
It was a movie. I'm the wettest I've ever been, and I'm Canadian.
Speaking of Mr. Show, and certainly not video games.
No.
Did you guys
the video game podcast?
Did you guys see that? I think it's Heinz is actually manufacturing. They're coming out with a mustard mayonnaise hybrid.
I did see that.
Yeah,
God.
Mayo stirred or
it's one of those.
or yeah, mustardnaise or whatever. Yeah, it's come true.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening. Well,
these are the end times.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, because we were just talking about it a second ago.
Of like,
we didn't
four
really
conversations ago.
4 conversations ago.
Master segues.
I enjoy Friday the 13th, the video game. Love it a lot, and now it's coming out on a brand new platform.
If only that was available on the Nintendo Switch, I can only imagine the joy you would feel if that were the case.
Well, guess what? It is coming out on Nintendo Switch this spring.
You don't say.
I am extremely excited about it. Yeah.
Are you?
All that we've seen so far is just a teaser image of Jason sitting on a park bench, and the little tagline is "Kill time," like kill time.
I get it.
You get it? Kill time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a double meaning
because he's on a bench.
Because he's on a bench playing Friday the 13th. The game.
Is this a daylight savings joke?
Yes, exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And so yeah, coming out this spring on Nintendo Switch. I'm going to end up buying it a 4th time now.
Well, there you go.
Because I have it on 3 platforms. That's clearly not enough. I need it on 4.
What is wrong with you people?
This is my rogue legacy. This is my rogue legacy. Like Phil.
Yeah, Rogue Legacy has really positive reviews. Is there crossplay?
I don't know. I listened to Player One podcast and I heard that this game was pretty good.
It is really good.
Is there crossplay?
No crossplay. That they've said. There's been no crossplay in the previous.
So you get to build that community all over again.
Yeah.
Man, this game just keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Darn right. Yeah.
Oh.
It includes all of the DLC and like separate purchase packs that they'd offered
so you get
prior versions. So you get everything.
It's the Game of the Year edition.
Game of the Year edition.
All the DLC.
And while because of a lawsuit, they cannot add content to the game anymore. They are still updating it with balance changes and things like that.
But they just can't do like new suits or skins or whatever.
No, and it really sucks because Jason X stuff was planned to go into the game.
And Jason X didn't make it.
It didn't make it before the whole lawsuit thing.
Boy, if you thought I had no interest in the game before.
I know.
No Jason X, come on.
No Jason X.
What was it? Uber Jason? Is that what he's dubbed?
Yes.
Still hands down the best Friday the 13th scene ever was that campfire scene.
I just loved everything about Jason X. It's just an amazing movie.
Just stupidly fun.
Yeah.
Stupidly fun. Exactly.
Want to smoke marijuana and have some premarital sex? I forget what the line was.
That's great. So good.
Pretty amusing movie.
So you can play your home PS4 via remote play now on mobile devices. So iOS and Android got this remote play app.
What
on-screen controller you've always wanted?
What better way to play all your favorite PS4 games?
Yes.
I watched somebody do a video of Apex Legends.
Okay.
Using this remote play thing, and it really seemed completely unplayable. Like you couldn't do a twitchy multiplayer game at all in remote play this way.
Yeah.
And it does not sync up to the DualShock 4 on iOS. I believe it does on Android, but you can't use. You have to use like a made for iPhone controller to use it on iOS.
See,
otherwise, you're stuck with the on-screen.
If you already own a made for iPhone controller, that's a pretty nice feature. Gotta say, I mean,
Absolutely.
at least that's a thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, like playing on the touchscreen.
Yeah, I watched somebody play GTA 5 on it using one of the made for iPhone controllers, and it still didn't really seem playable. Like I think some styles of game, like RPGs or things that are turn based and less like reliant on reaction time, are gonna play much better on this. But I guess it's good that something's being done with remote play. I think it's one of the PS4's I think it's one of the PS4's best features, honestly. Like the remote play with the Vita. I played a lot of Fallout 4 that way, and it was fantastic. The fact that it doesn't seem to have gotten better quality wise is a little concerning, but yeah. So you can download that free app onto your mobile device now and try it out for yourself. Yeah.
Nope.
I don't think so. Yeah. Let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. Because last week a whole bunch of assets leaked as part of a
keyword
movie style guide for the character.
Yes.
So we got to look at Sonic the Hedgehog's live action face. What do you guys think?
Oh, it's nightmare fuel.
How hyped are you for this movie? No.
I mean, I've seen examples of video game characters turned into live action creations recently. I won't name names.
Well, you know what? I will, because I had this exact thought, and I know where you're trying to go with this while being Phil, but
I have no idea.
While being coy.
While being
I will say that, like, when I heard while being employed, like when I heard about this, when I first heard about the Sonic movie, and I first heard about Detective Pikachu in particular, it's like, that's stupid. That's a stupid idea. It's not going to make any sense. Why do that? Why do a live action Pokemon at all, let alone the whole idea behind Detective Pikachu? Then the trailer comes out, and I was like, wow, you can do that. Like, this could work. This actually looks really good. And that's me speaking as not a Pokemon fan in the least. I don't have I have zero interest in that franchise. My kids love it, but I personally have never really been into it. And I see the trailer and I'm like, I would see this.
Why make a game about cards when you can just go buy a deck of cards?
Exactly. But, for me, the bigger thing was from seeing that trailer is like, I was completely wrong. It is possible to do this and make it look good.
Yeah.
And then Sonic happened. And I think, and then, or at least what we saw last week happened. And I'm thinking, like, I think what made last week even worse is that we've seen trailers for Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
And have seen that this can work. This idea can work. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It looks bad. Like really, really bad.
Yeah. Like, even take away the iconic character you're trying to emulate.
Yeah.
It still looks bad. It's not like it just doesn't look right. It looks bad.
Right. Yeah, it's not the best.
No, they're struggling.
Yeah. So what other parts of this movie are we going to see and be horrified by?
Once I've seen Jim Carrey as Robotnik, I'm good. I don't really. I want.
You don't need to see the movie.
I want to experience that.
Do we know if he is? I mean, is it just going to be Jim Carrey? Just like
it's actually going to be in the Riddler unitard.
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering.
With the Grinch,
with the Grinch face.
Is it just going to be him wearing just like kind of Robotnik-looking clothes? Is it going to be him in like a fat suit?
That'd be terrible too.
Or is it going to be him voicing some sort of CGI version of, a pseudo-realistic looking Robotnik?
God, what would a pseudo-realistic looking Robotnik
I don't know.
like?
I don't know.
What would that look like? Besides horrific.
Fat Man from Metal Gear?
I think what they should do is have Dr. Kintobor. Does anyone remember? You remember, Phil? I know you'd remember.
That's a deep dig, right? That's a deep Game Pro comic reference there.
Yes, it is. The
Kind-hearted
Sonic and Dr. Robotnik is in a comic book that was published in GamePro.
Yep.
Where Sonic's just a hedgehog who can run fast.
Yep. He is brown.
And he's brown.
Yep.
Okay.
And he comes across Dr. Kintobor's lab, who's just a normal dude, scientist guy.
Yeah.
Who befriends him and gives him these amazing red sneakers, frictionless sneakers, I think they were.
Friction. I think
so
that was
he can run faster.
Yep.
And he runs so fast that the cobalt effect, I can't believe I remember this, turns him blue. God. That's why Sonic's blue.
Yeah.
And then there's some kind of explosion or something that affects
like he
Dr.
breaks
Kintobor.
A sound barrier.
Is it a sonic boom?
And
basically,
he turns evil, and now he reverses his spelling and calls himself Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
That's
Dr.
crazy.
Kintobor.
Dr. Kintobor.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that I knew Phil would know that. I was like, I'm going to make this weird reference. CJ won't get it. I don't know if any listeners will get it, but Phil
will know exactly what you're talking about. You know what? This is Dr. Kintobor has come up in separate conversations that I've had.
Really?
Probably within the past month.
I love it.
Huh.
Yeah. So my boss at work is a big Sega nerd. So so he and I have probably had a similar conversation about Dr. Kintobor. But yeah, I have no idea how Jim Carrey is going to be portraying Robotnik.
I think we can guess it is going to be terrible, though.
Yeah. So,
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know Cyclops is in the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Dude has a name.
What is his name?
James is
Marsden?
it Marsden? Yeah, the guy who played Cyclops.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like Sonic's human buddy. I believe I think he's a cop.
Okay.
I think he's a cop, and Sonic is like friends with the police.
I look forward to the riff tracks on that. Let's go talk about Xbox for a minute here. Apparently, we're getting a new version of the hardware very soon. Apparently, the rumor is pre-orders in April, and it's called the Xbox One S All Digital Edition.
They didn't want to go with discless?
This is the rumored discless version.
Yes, it's true.
This console has no disc drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently it's pre-orders are going to start, and general availability is coming in early May.
So can I ask you something, CJ?
What?
I don't expect you'll buy. Well, actually, I never know with you. You might buy this.
Yeah.
But next round of consoles.
Yeah.
If all digital console is an option, are you going that way?
Of course. Yeah. I've gone that way this
Well, no, but you weren't able to buy a console that didn't have the hardware to read discs. What I'm saying is,
right.
Yeah.
If I had the option of buying a piece of hardware that didn't have a disk drive, would I buy it? Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hopefully it'll be
no
cheap.
question.
I doubt it. I feel like that's one of the biggest problems that we have with digital only games now is that
they're not cheap.
We don't seem to get some kind of break for going digital only. Yeah, but I feel like we should, because back in the day, that was one of the biggest promises about going digital. It was like, well, then we don't have to worry about manufacturing, packaging, and shipping it, and we're going to save all this money, which is probably true, but none of those savings were handed on to us.
Yeah, that's true. You don't see sale pricing
no
on digital, except
now digital games can go on really great sales.
I will say today they were recording this is March 10th, and that is Mario Day, Mar 10.
I hate you,
etc. And so Nintendo has several retailers that are selling Mario titles for a discount. And one of the things is that Amazon is selling the digital version of those games, and actually, I think all the retailers are selling the digital versions of those at the sale price that you can get at retail for the physical. So, of course, Nintendo games historically don't go on discount very often, if ever, including digital. So having this sort of parity between the physical sale that they're running with a couple of retailers and the digital versions. Although on the eShop itself, they're not discounted. You have to buy the digital version elsewhere, which is kind of weird. But that gives me some hope that maybe more publishers will go that direction. I know that Microsoft has done that with a couple of games where the discount on digital has been the same discount on physical. They did that for Sea of Thieves recently, back in January. So, yeah, maybe we'll start seeing more of that, and maybe third-party publishers will get into that as well. That would be my hope. Because you're right. When you go all digital, you're basically MSRP for months.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying that sales don't happen, although if it's a Nintendo, obviously it's a little different. But
yeah,
what I'm saying is even the MSRP, well, the original price of the thing digital should not be the same as MSRP for the physical copy. It should be cheaper.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
should be two different prices,
and it just hasn't ever happened, and it's kind of disappointing because I feel like as a consumer, I'm giving up something, right?
Sure.
I mean, I'm giving up the ability to resell this thing. So
that's true.
We help a brother out.
That's not gonna happen. It's one of those things. You remember, like when CDs first started coming out and they were more expensive.
Yeah,
and people were like, "Oh, CDs are expensive now, but when they get cheaper to make, the price will plummet." Just never happened.
To me, they were able to they were able to add value there in that, like, there was a value addition there where they could say, but CDs, little did we know, CDs won't ever stretch like tapes do. So this will be good forever.
Right.
Not quite true. But they could say that.
They could say that, I guess.
There's value added there, right? Like,
right, but my point is video games are not going to magically get cheaper because
no, not at all.
On digital,
they don't have to.
Even though they could, they won't because they don't have to.
Yeah.
And what video game third-party publisher wants to make less on their game?
We've all seen how benevolent publishers are, so
it's true. That's true. Let's switch over to talk about some Nintendo stuff here. Turok.
Oh, good. We don't do that enough.
The original Turok.
That was an Acclaim game.
It was an Acclaim game. It came out for the PC a little while ago, and it is coming out on the Nintendo Switch this month.
So I'll get to realize how much of a good game Turok wasn't.
March 18th, you will find Turok on the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. A lot of people have nostalgia for Turok. I am not one of those people at all.
No, I
don't have nostalgia for Turok. Any of the sequels, I don't.
In the context
have
of
any interest
there aren't a ton of first-person shooters on the N64. Turok was a good game.
And considering that at this time, when you think of first-person shooters, you think of PC games like Doom, Quake, Hexen, all of those Doom clones.
I want to see more Hexen. We need some more Hexen and Heretic. That's what we need.
Hexen and Heretic.
I loved those games.
Right?
They were great.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah, and Turok was, a console. Here's a console exclusive first-person shooter. That was a big thing, and that was a big thing for GoldenEye as well.
Yeah.
When the original Turok came out, Acclaim wanted a couple of EGM writers to basically play the game through and give them a mock review before that was a thing.
Oh.
How'd that go?
I played this game in a room with Crispin Boyer, and I got so sick of this game and its fog effects and all that stuff.
She was thick.
I have not thought about it since.
The fog, she was thick.
I have no good memories of Turok, sad to say. But for $20, it can be yours on March 18th.
Hooray!
Yes.
Or just give that money to charity.
Or just do that. That's probably a better idea. Okay. Yeah. We got a new Nintendo Labo announcement this week. Toy-Con 4, the VR kit, comes out on April 12th. So, of course, this was rumored for a while that, the screen on the Switch would be perfect for like VR.
A cardboard.
And indeed, it's coming out as a Labo kit on April 12th. And it looks kind of cool. And it's not expensive. It's like $49, right?
Now, aren't there 2 kits? Isn't there like a kit with just the mask and 1 toy, and then a kit with all the VR toys?
There are 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
There's a base set, and then 2 kind of add-on kits, or you can get like the whole McGillicuddy as one big thing.
Okay. So, yeah, there's 3 kits or 2?
3.
3.
There's the main kit.
I see on Amazon the
CJ's trying to change his pre-order.
Yeah.
That's right. I see the VR kit with everything, and then the basic starter kit.
Well, here I am at labo.nintendo.com, and I don't know, maybe they don't have the right.
What do they know?
What do they know?
You can get the starter set plus blaster.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I keep seeing everywhere.
The big, because that's like the main goggles, and then the big cannon sticking out of the front. And then there are 2 expansion sets.
I see it. Okay. Yeah.
Or you can just buy the whole big VR kit that has all 3 sets together.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Figure out which one you're going to get.
It looks like the expansion sets might not actually be on Amazon.
Oh, well.
So that's interesting, because when I go to labo.nintendo.com, I'm only seeing the 2 kits.
Really?
Yep.
Which 2 are you seeing?
I'm seeing the 2 pictured at the top, and then the expansions are down below as a thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got this feature now with
no. Listen. No,
scroll down.
Here's the thing that was unclear. So the 2 kits I'm seeing are the starter set. Excuse me. The starter set plus blaster, and then the Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 4 kit.
Right.
Yes, the expansions were not really talked about too much. Okay, now I get it.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, I love that. I love that they're gonna sort of lower the barrier to entry a little bit.
Right.
I would.
So you can try it with just the one thing, and if you like it, then you can get the expansion stuff. You don't have to go all in.
Right. I would consider the starter set. My concern is that the only other VR content will be the stuff for the other expansions. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd like to hear if they're going to open this up so that I can treat this more like a Google Cardboard, and there'll be other apps that they'll sell.
Right.
You just kind of have to have that piece, because if that's the case, I'm in. Yeah. I'm excited about this. But if it's, tied to the other expansion bits, Labo did my family did not get into Labo. We just didn't. I really thought we would, and I was excited to, and it never happened.
I wonder if that is that each set of the original ones that we bought had so many. At least I started with the variety kit, and there were so many things to do in there that at a certain point we just kind of, stopped.
Like an embarrassment of riches kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I think it was? Too much. And I mean, this is, maybe this is an indictment of my kids' attention spans. The builds took too long. I mean, what we were doing was exactly what we had paid for, but it took a surprisingly long time for even the simple builds in that variety kit.
Yeah.
And then once you were done, we
didn't play for them as long as we took to build. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't get as much enjoyment out of them as we did to build them. So
yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, VR is a real thing on Switch now.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up. I'll give it a try.
Unlike what Paul Mattingly said last year.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
He called it. It.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
All right. Should we get to what we've been playing? I think we should. Greg, you're up first.
Toe Jam.
Boom.
Big roll.
So played through the fixed game in Toe Jam and Earl with CJ and CJ's best friend Mike this past week on me Twitch channel. That's a good time. That was a good time. It was just basically old school Toe Jam and Earl. The online play was great, so I got my full screen, even though I loved it. I just really, really enjoyed it a lot. The new enemies There's a bunch of new enemies, which are cool. Although it's funny because I don't know why I was doing it, but every time I saw one, I was like, what does that one do? And CJ's just like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah,
I'm going to hit you and find out.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, CJ knows all the secrets.
Yep.
I do.
CJ's got all the
he showed us the secret ending level, and
I did. I showed you the secret ending. Yep.
The hot cheats.
Got all the cheats.
Latest tips and tricks.
The game got difficult at the end, though. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah?
It did.
By the end of the game, there were levels we were just running through.
Wow.
We were only running to get the ship piece and then leaving as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what that's
sort of
the game, right? You're
and even
the ship and
the original ToeJam and Earl, that would be how I would play.
Yeah.
I would get the ship piece and then get the hell out.
Yeah.
On the elevator as soon as possible. Yeah.
But I mean, we talked a lot about it last week, but yeah, I did. Yeah. So we played through that. I haven't gone back, but now I want to play the randomized version.
Yeah.
I think that game would be tough.
You'll unlock super hard too.
Yeah. I think that game would be tough single player.
Yeah.
True.
Although
you get more presents.
I was the one who had to share lives at the end because CJ's best friend Mike died.
Ooh.
Right.
That's right. And then I had a present that was an extra life, and if you open it with everybody on the same screen, everybody gets it.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Any present you open with everybody on the screen, they get it.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's why I open randomizers whenever CJ's next to me.
Oh God, no.
Not really much else to say about that though, because we talked about it a lot last week.
Yeah, and I think that I think it's a game that people either like or completely hate. Like I can see people picking up ToeJam and Earl and not knowing what the point is, and I mean it's one of those games where you have to enjoy the chaos that can ensue from playing a multiplayer game, or enjoy wandering around the levels and discovering what the Earthlings do. Yeah, you have to enjoy that part of the game, and if you don't, then you're gonna bounce right out.
Yep, gonna bounce right out. Such an industry guy.
You're gonna take your spring shoes and you're gonna bounce right on to level -10.
So what you're saying, CJ, is you need to enjoy the game to be able to enjoy it.
Yes.
That's your.
I think what he's trying to say is
my review.
Fans of ToeJam and Earl rejoice.
Former professional video game reviewer.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Proclaims that if you enjoy games like this,
you will enjoy.
For fans of the series only.
But I feel like to enjoy it,
you
should go back, because I mean, you want to have the right context for it. You should go back and play through Rogue. Really.
That makes sense.
I mean, because otherwise, how are you going to understand what's going on?
You're not going to have any basis or frame of reference. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
ba-doo-ba-doo, boop, boop, ba-doo-ba-doo, boop.
And then the only other game I really spent any time with this week was Star Trek Bridge Crew. Although CJ couldn't play one night, and I was kind of sad.
Yeah.
So
we had been up late the night before playing ToeJam and Earl, so
we were a threesome instead of a foursome.
That's right.
And I want you to know, we couldn't finish the last mission, and it was all because of you.
I'm sorry.
Because your best friend Mike had to keep jumping into the engineering chair and the captain's chair.
Yeah, I've heard that can be difficult.
That last mission was rough, man. We didn't finish it, so the next time we play, you're going to have to come play with us.
I'm fine with that. Just let me
know. We'll move on to the next generation.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'm down. Maybe Phil could have subbed in for me.
Yeah, where was I?
Yeah, where were you?
I don't know. No one told me there was a game going on.
When was the last time we played a multiplayer game with Phil?
Exactly.
Phil never joins any of.
I never hear about it. No one ever tells me. Hey,
we know you won't join.
We're playing a game tomorrow. Maybe you could set aside an hour to join in. I don't know. I guess I'm not I guess I know where I'm not wanted.
Okay,
that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm the only one out of like any of you who even knows what a Star Trek is.
Star Trek?
Yep.
Star Trek? What are we talking about?
You said you travel through the stars.
Star Trekking across the universe.
So I got Star Trekking. Yeah. I gotta say though, so Phil, I will say though,
yes,
we were talking last week, and you pointed out, because you're such a killjoy.
I am.
how CJ's best friend Mike was constantly asking as he was the captain, he was doing his best Kirk, where he would ask if any of the alien life forms were female.
Right.
And you were of course, you came in with the well, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever actually watched the original TOS series, you would know.
So, because I'm a weird nerd, because I've been playing Star Trek, I actually went back and started watching.
Oh, did you watch the old
series?
Trek?
It's on Netflix.
Right,
I love the old series. I mean, it brings back a lot of memories, because going back to what CJ is playing or saying earlier, we're old enough to remember, 4 stations on television. So you kind of, if you're going to watch TV, you kind of watched what was on.
Right.
And of course, Star Trek was in heavy rotation when we were kids, back before TNG was around.
Right.
So I just thought it was not, ironic, I guess. I got to the 5th episode, which was called The Enemy Within. I'm going to see if you remember this one.
Okay.
It's
been a few years.
It's been a few years.
I watched TOS.
This was the one where, oh God, it is called TOS, isn't it?
Well, the original series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, that's what it's become known as, just to help differentiate it.
Yeah. It's called The Enemy Within. So the whole premise is that there's a transporter malfunction, because of course there is.
Oh, this is the evil Kirk one?
The evil Kirk one.
Yes.
That's got a pretty rapey scene in it.
Yeah.
Boy.
The 60s.
Man.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, and not just for the lady it was happening to.
Right.
But like, I'm watching, it's like, this is really aggressive. Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway,
I thought about our conversation. I know that doesn't prove that you're wrong or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. This was what, 50 years ago?
1966. Yep.
66. So yeah.
Okay.
That's all I had to say. I just happened to be watching it. It's like, ooh, this isn't stopping.
If you
like, he's gone from being creepy to downright like,
right, yeah.
And then the best part is that the next scene that follows is her being debriefed by the guy she's accused,
of course,
because he's the captain.
And
she is so ashamed to have to bring it up. I was like, wow, this is
again,
But Seinfeld was problematic.
Well, it's even that was what, 20 years ago for Seinfeld.
It was 20 years ago.
Things things crazy, man. You know what though? Let's
watching Friends.
No, I couldn't watch Friends the first time around.
Yeah, really.
Not. Oh yeah. Well,
I don't care if it's problematic. It's just not a good show.
Yeah, you know what the amusing thing about Trek is, when you're watching that
the alien in that episode was literally a dog in an alien suit.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's
it was adorable.
There's that.
They didn't even try to hide it.
The Kirk, everyone's familiar and kind of used to the, not so much Kirk, but the impressions of Kirk. So you get the overly dramatic pauses. He doesn't really start that up, I think, until about season. I think it might even be the third season.
Yeah, I think it's until he really. You're right, because when you watch the first series, he's a classic. Shatner's a classically trained Shakespearean actor.
Yeah, and he's doing. He's just acting. He's just regular old acting.
Yeah,
and it's
you
not.
See it in Leonard Nimoy as well, by the way.
Oh yeah.
The first season with Leonard Nimoy, he affects his voice very strangely.
Yeah.
And he's not really Spock yet.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway,
it's not until later in the the original series was 3 seasons.
Yeah,
and it's not. It may have just even been the 3rd season, maybe the 2nd. I can't remember.
I mean, definitely the movies. By the movies, he was full on.
Well, certainly that 3rd season. Yeah, he's hamming it up.
Yeah,
for sure. So
anyway, go watch Star Trek.
All right, nerds. Phil.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Well, let me
talk about Tars Trek.
Let me tell you about Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
So,
I have a conundrum, Phil. We're going to keep talking about this. I have a conundrum.
Lord.
So, because this is the way I do things.
That's how you got to do.
This is the way I do things. I'm going to go through TOS.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're going to jump into TNG.
Did you
see DS9 and TNG were running concurrently at one point, and I know there was crossover.
Well, you know what?
I can't binge each one.
Finish up TNG. If you're gonna watch them, are you actually gonna do this?
What the hell? Why not?
Are you in a Star Trek kick?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay. Well, now keep in mind
this is a lot of watching.
Next gen. Actually, I think Next Gen and Deep Space Nine. I think they're both 7 seasons.
I know Next Gen is for sure,
and there are quite a few episodes per season. So
I know
you're in for a long haul.
Oh, I got time.
You know what? I would say yes. Go ahead if you're gonna marathon them. Watch all of Next Gen first.
Really?
And yeah. I mean, there's some.
There's nothing that happens in DS9 that informs Next Gen. That's kind of my worry.
Yeah, well, you know what happens is
CJ hates this. I love this.
I know.
He's just.
You know what? After your pirate crap.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Some of that is coming up real soon.
Oh. Hooray! Hooray! I was happy for you in your Friday the 13th on Switch. CJ.
Were you really?
I was legitimately happy for you. No. But now you're like, time for more pirates, just to get a nice screw you.
No, we are going to talk about Sea of Thieves for 10 whole minutes.
Sweet Juniper. Worf. You know the character Worf from Next Gen, the Klingon chief of security. He becomes a regular cast member on Deep Space Nine.
Didn't the engineer as well?
Yes, Chief O'Brien.
O'Brien, that's his name.
Yeah. Those two end up on.
I know that.
Yeah,
I knew that, but that was kind of my thing. It's like, well, should I? So you're saying TNG, then DS9. What about Discovery?
Well, with
just
Discovery,
don't watch that.
No, I'm liking Discovery.
Really? Okay.
I'm enjoying Discovery. Discovery.
Not Discovery.
Voyager. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I've seen a little bit of Voyager. I have not watched much Voyager.
I bounced off Voyager pretty fast.
I bounced off it pretty quickly as well. And I've heard so many people say that Voyager's not that great, so don't worry about it. I probably wouldn't worry about Enterprise either.
Yeah. It only went a season or 2, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. But yeah, Discovery is I'm enjoying Discovery.
Yeah, I've heard that it's quite good.
It's got its ups and downs, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'll do then. TNG, then DS9.
Yeah. Discovery actually is
I like me some Captain Janeway though, so I might watch Voyager anyway.
That also has Robert Picardo in a recurring role.
Oh yeah.
Q?
Huh? What?
Wasn't he Q? No, Q was somebody else.
Q is John Delancey.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Robert Picardo is do a Google image search for Robert Picardo.
No. Well, Sledge in the chat makes a good point. Voyager brought us 7 of 9. I can't argue with that.
Yeah. CJ?
No.
What?
Picardo?
You know what? You will immediately recognize.
Yeah, I know who we're talking about.
Robert Picardo.
Oh,
I know who we're talking
guy.
About.
Yeah, he was the doctor.
He's the doctor on Voyager. So
wasn't he in DS9 first? No, I'm
no.
thinking of no. Okay. Yes, I like Robert. Yeah, Robert Picardo.
Robert Picardo is outstanding.
Yeah.
Robert Picardo also shows up in a couple episodes of The Orville.
Oh, cool.
Which, hey, you know what? Actually, Greg, if you're in a Star Trek kick, watch The Orville.
I've heard that. I've heard good things about it.
It's really fun. It's actually a really good show.
Can I say?
What's that?
I love that this episode has just turned into a bunch of Star Trek talk.
Also, I think we've had this exact same conversation like 3 episodes in a row.
I don't care.
But now Greg's
wait till I download the TNG expansion for Star Trek.
Oh, Lord. I won't be playing that with you. Sorry.
Boo earns.
So, Phil.
What?
What have you been playing?
Well, I've been watching a lot of The Orville lately. I don't know if you you know what? I've played a bit more Ape Out. Playing some more Ape Escape. I see you've been playing that as well, Christopher.
I have. I took your recommendation
to purchase it,
and I did it.
What do you think?
I love it.
It's great, right?
It's pretty great, especially really the jazzy drums that are playing the whole time.
Yep.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Each hit you make punctuates the soundtrack.
It does, yes. I have a lot of fun with that. And the death screen is so cool, like the zoom out on the map that you've been playing, so you can see your path.
Yep, you
and
can see how close you were to the end. Yep.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, it's great.
How far have you gotten?
Definitely worth it. I think I'm on stage 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you rip the door, you start ripping things.
You're like ripping the giant doors off. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've just gotten the grab ability.
Yes.
Yeah, because you start off with just like the shove.
You can do both actually right from the beginning.
Oh, can you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Because you mentioned it on the show that you can do both shove and
grab. You can grab dudes.
So I did that from the beginning.
Okay.
I had no problem. Yeah.
So it turns out because I was playing through, I got to like level 8 or 9, something like that, and I get through the level and I escape, and suddenly I'm running out. Minor spoilers, but whatever. It's not a big thing. Suddenly I rip a door off and I run through it, and suddenly I'm like amongst trees and stuff.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
I'm out.
I'm out.
you have aped out.
I aped out.
As the title suggests. Yeah.
And then it like, it's like, hey, you win. And I'm just like, what the hell's going on? This game is really, really short. And I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, no, I've just actually finished the first sort of world as it was.
Okay.
Because I've never actually, once I started the game, I've never backed out to the main menu. I've always just kind of continued from whatever level I left off on. The game is set up where they treat each world like a jazz album, basically, just kind of further tying it into the soundtrack. Because what happens after you finish that first set of levels, it kind of cuts to a screen, and it like that first world that you were in, that lab environment, is suddenly like it's an album. Like you can see like the album cover, and you can actually go back and replay it, and each level is treated almost like it's like a track list.
Oh, okay.
So you can start up like they really lean into the whole sort of jazz soundtrack. And then I unlocked a second album, as it were, and I've started that up now, and it's structured quite differently. Instead of just having the lab that you're running from left to right through, I am now in a high-rise building. And you start on the 30th floor, and you're in a cage. You're just in a small room in a cage, and there's a few guards around you. And you bust out of the cage, kill the guards, and then you find the stairs down, and you have to make your way.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Down to the bottom floor. And I have not progressed very far in it yet.
I'm excited about this. I'm very excited about this.
I hope there are checkpoints. Because so far the best I've been able to do is get down to like the 27th or 26th floor. And every time you die, you end up back on floor 30.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm just like, boy, I hope it's like every 5 or 10 levels they give you a checkpoint, because I cannot imagine going down through 30 floors and surviving
in one sitting,
in one go, without dying. But it's great though, because you're in this high-rise building. It's like a skyscraper. So there's the walls, the exterior walls are windows. And you can actually, if you can accidentally run through them and fall out and die, which I found that out right away.
Oh, wow.
If you crash through them and jump out, it will kill you. But on the other hand, you can also grab dudes and throw them through the window, and you can see them fall down and they leave a little blood splat. Like if you go look out the window, you'll see a little splat on the ground and stuff. So it's a fun game. It's a fun game.
It is a fun game.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. I have no idea how many albums there are in it. And I was like I said, I was kind of delighted to see it mix up the gameplay a bit.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how they alter the gameplay in later stages as well. So
cool.
Yeah, really great game. What is it? Is it 15 or 20?
It's $15.90. It's $14.99.
Yeah,
$15.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Everyone should buy that game. It is
Steam and Switch
right now. Holler.
It is.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. I also picked up we were talking about digital games going on sale.
Yes.
Over in the eShop, the Nintendo Electronic Shop, for the Switch, they're having a Lego game sale. And I mentioned, about a week or two ago, we picked up the Lego Movie 2 game that my son has been playing. But I picked up the DC Supervillains game.
Okay.
Which is on sale, which I'd been interested in for a while, and I was waiting for a sale, and now it is here. And it is a fun Lego game. I'm enjoying it more than the Lego Movie 2 game. And yeah, it's kind of the standard Lego game formula. So I'm not going to go too much into the gameplay. But yeah, the gimmick is it's a villain-centric plot. So you're playing as the Joker and Lex Luthor and all of those characters. And at the beginning of the game, you get to make your own character with a surprisingly robust character creator. But even more interesting is I don't know if I didn't realize this or if I knew about this when the game came out and I just kind of forgot, but man, they went all in with the voice cast.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Huh. Mark Hamill's doing the Joker, which I completely did not expect.
Always down for that.
Yeah, you got him doing the Joker. You got Clancy Brown doing Lex Luthor, just like on the the shows. You got Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Doing Batman. And just like a ton of the characters who from the DC animated universe reprising their roles, and
that's awesome.
And it really makes it feel like a legitimate DC animated adventure. So
yeah,
I'm having a good time with that. I mean, it's I've just been playing it. Finn and I have been playing it, and we're having some fun with it. I also broke down and picked up Devil May Cry 5 this week as well.
Boy, I'm sick of hearing about that game.
What? Really?
I've just been all over Twitter.
What's wrong with why don't you like Devil May Cry?
I don't really care.
You don't what? Really? Devil May Cry is a good game. Yeah. Devil May Cry 2 is not a good game, but other than that, the Devil May Cry series is quite good, very popular. It's a good game.
Greg doesn't like popular games anymore.
I guess not. You only like obscure games that people haven't heard of?
Yep. And Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
Well, but yeah, I've only played a little bit, just a couple stages of that so far, and it is pretty awesome. I can't get into it too much yet because again, I've just sort of barely scratched the surface of it.
Yeah,
but just awesome action, running around killing demons, doing cool flippy stylish tricks and everything. So that is one I cannot play with Finn around, so I have to
you have to wait
play that after he goes to bed. So so again, my exposure to it has not been great, but yeah, it's fun. I'm very excited to see more of it.
Okay,
it's amusing. What is it? They have an option on the title screen where it's like the history of the Devil May Cry series. So like you can catch up on the plot and everything. So I was like, you know what, I have not played Devil May Cry in quite some time, so I'll watch this and sort of see if I can get the plot, so I know what's going on. And Lick-chan You guys know Lickchan?
Yeah,
actor alias Lickchan pointed this out on Twitter as well, and I thought it was funny because I noticed it as well when I was watching it. The little intro movie is recounting the plot and everything, and they show the logo of whatever game they are referencing on the screen as they're describing the events of that particular game. And they go through like Devil May Cry 3 first, because that was a prequel. So you get, they're recounting the events of that, and then it goes into Devil May Cry, and there's a few minutes where they talk about that. And then Devil May Cry 2 comes up, and it's just like, and then Devil May Cry 2 happened. And now here's what happened to Devil May Cry 4. Because I guess even Capcom knows that nobody cares about Devil May Cry 2.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. But Greg apparently hates fun games. CJ, I guess you have no interest in Devil May Cry 5 either?
No, not at full price.
Too busy playing your 1200th hour of Pirates or buying Friday the 13th.
You're darn right. You're darn right.
That makes more sense than playing an awesome
playing Ape Out. I played Ape Out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah. See? So I guess I'll, once I play a little more Devil May Cry, I guess I can sit here and talk to myself about it.
Okay.
And how much fun I'm having.
That sounds good.
Tell me more, please, about your 12,000th hour of
not 12,000th.
Crazy. Where are you at?
Crazy.
1,100.
I don't know. I'm probably.
Okay.
You want me to tell you about Sea of Thieves? Really? No,
not really. But
I'm going to anyway, because they updated the game this last week with a new type of mission. They're doing these events, these mercenary mission events, and one of them, in order to get commendations and rewards for it, you have to throw up this flag on your ship that basically tells everybody on the map where you are. It's the Reaper's Mark flag. And so this is a weekly event. You have to do it 5 times in order to get the special cosmetics for it, for doing the mission. So the game's getting a little bit spicy because everybody's going to the same area of the map.
It only took 1,000 hours for it to get spicy.
No, yeah, you have to run this flag that shows everybody where you are. You have to keep it up for the whole mission, and it's making that area of the map around a particular island really busy. And sometimes I've played, and the other people there are all like on a truce. They're like, we don't want to fight. We just have this flag up because we have to do it to do the mission. Like, we're not going to fire on you. And because having this flag up also signifies that you're ready for PvP, like you're ready for battle. And other times it has been, sink any ship on site that you can. And it's turned into a really interesting experiment, really a social experiment of sorts, where today actually we had somebody come on to our ship and say that they were the crew that had just been sunk by another ship, when in actuality they were just waiting to bamboozle us and steal our loot for themselves. It was very fun.
So they lied.
They lied. Yeah. It's an interesting thing in Sea of Thieves where you can go up to another crew and lie to see if you can get them to trust you enough to
Where is this so-called honor amongst thieves
sometimes there is no honor amongst thieves.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I posted a couple of videos on the Siege of Thieves Twitter account of that encounter. And that was really interesting. But yeah, it's continuing to be a fun game.
Raw definition of interesting.
Yeah. On the 20th is the first anniversary of the game, and they're giving out special cosmetics for those players who became Pirate Legend in the first year. So I'm already Pirate Legend.
How do you become a Pirate Legend?
You have to level up all of the factions in the game to level 50.
Oh, okay. So
so there's 3 factions in the game right now. You have to level them all up to 50.
What are the factions?
It is. I know you.
Why are you?
Gold Hoarder, Order of Souls, and Merchant.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm continuing to have fun. On the 20th, they're going to announce what the content is going to be in this mega update they're planning. And some of the information from that has leaked, and they're adding like a ton of content and fishing minigame to it, and different types of food to the game, more enemy types, all sorts of stuff. So
man,
it's going to be real interesting.
It's an embarrassment of riches
for me, anyway. I know you guys love it.
Yeah, I'll play again soon.
It's still such a super fun game. Anyway,
yes.
I've also been playing a game called Assault Android Cactus Plus on the Nintendo Switch.
Now that you've clearly said that wrong. What you are playing,
Assault Android Cactus.
You are playing Android Assault: The Revenge of Berry Arm for Sega
That is
CD.
a weird reading of Berry Arm. Cactus is not how you say that at all.
That's not right. That's
Android Assault: The Revenge of Berry Arm, Sega CD, 1993 classic shooter.
No.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it classic.
Yes, the timeless classic.
Pretty bad.
Android Assault.
Timeless, yes. So Witchbeam Games put out this top-down shooter, I think a couple years ago.
Which came out? Is that the name?
Witchbeam is the publisher and developer.
Okay.
Witchbeam?
Witchbeam.
As in like a beam.
Like a witch and a beam, like a beam of light.
Like a beam of light.
Yeah.
And a witch. Like the Halloween kind of.
That's the one.
Long nose, pointy hat.
Yes.
Okay.
They put out this top-down shooter on other platforms and PC a couple years ago, and this is the Plus edition of the game for Switch with reformatted campaign and new options. Campaign Plus mode with new stages, and the game has local co-op in all of the modes for up to 4 players. So it's a top-down arcade-style shooter, and really, really fun too. Like this is a nice co-op game to have. It's very arcadey. Yeah, you can play it on just the Switch screen itself if you want to, with the Joy-Cons tilted to the side. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. And there's leaderboards for all of the stages, of course.
Is it better than Soul Feast?
It is easily better than Soul Feast.
Oh, let's not jump to conclusions here.
Soul Feast was a good game back in the day, but this is a top-down shooter.
Okay,
so it's more like Smash TV or
it's a bigger fan of side-scrolling shooters. I'm just gonna say
twin stick arena.
Shooter though. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Smash TV was some good fun.
Yeah,
you should.
Have they made a twin stick shooters in Smash TV? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Yes, there are quite a few.
There's Geometry Wars.
Next,
that's a very popular one.
A very good.
I'm kidding,
one
by the way. I know they've made lots of them.
Super Stardust HD.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Witchbeam, a while ago, one of our old apartments, outside one of our windows, we had like a kind of a wooden overhang outside our window, and one of the wooden slats that comprised this overhang. I don't know if like a nail fell out or something, but it was hanging down.
Well, which beam was it?
Well, see, this is the thing. There was this wooden beam hanging down, and Dana came up to me, like she was in there, and she saw it, and she yells to me in the other room. She said, "Phil, there's a beam coming down outside our window," and because I'm an idiot,
yes.
There was a moment where I freak out, and I'm just like,
aliens are finally here.
And I'm like, what? And she's like, there's a beam outside our window coming down. And I'm just like, I'm expecting, some sort of like Akira style defense satellite.
Oh,
something.
Wow.
Oh, I'm expecting something.
And I'm looking out the window. I'm like, what are you,
Space Force?
What are you talking about? And then she says, no, you idiot. The little wooden thing right there. We should let the apartment complex know they need to nail that back up. There's not some sort of death ray coming down.
You moron.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So
okay,
we're still together.
I know. I'm shocked.
Despite all that, despite living with an idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Assault Android Cactus Plus out on Switch now. I think it's $20. It was on sale before release for $14.99, and I picked it up then. So, but it's a really good time. If you like the top-down twin stick shooters, check it out. And with that, I think it is time for tweets.
Tweedledee. Oh God.
All right. Let's do this one from Hacker Alias Nameva. There you go. Woo!
Jesus,
we did it.
Hard.
Nameva.
I never remember.
I know.
They say, with rumors of new consoles on the horizon, are you gents excited for next gen, or would you prefer this generation lasted a few years longer?
I was excited for next gen. I don't know if I'm to the point anymore that I'll buy whatever both or all next gen consoles are right away, which has been my MO for, well, since probably the late 90s. But I was excited to see what next gen holds. I'm interested to see what kind of leap it'll be, because there wasn't really, the leap was there, but it didn't feel as big this past generation. So excited to see what
for me, I think the thing that I'm excited for are things like the interface being faster and every controller having a share button that's easy to use, and the Twitch streaming and Mixer streaming thing getting easier and giving you more options on console instead of having to have a separate PC rig.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually.
Like stuff like that. So it's weird to think about next generation, because I think game wise anyway, I don't feel like we're pushing the boundaries of the current generation like I felt previously, like Xbox 360 and PS3 and before that. Like towards the end of the generation, you really felt like, okay, this is as far as this is going. I don't really feel that ceiling yet. But where I do feel it are things like the interface on the consoles and scrolling through the community updates, like what your friends are doing, or accessing your achievements, or things like that being slow, or accessing the store on almost all of the systems.
Well, the store interface on all the systems sucks,
except for maybe, I mean, Switch is still faster than the other two, but it feels like that's also getting bogged down. But yeah, the store interface on Xbox and PS4, I feel like it's so slow. I never want to go in there and just browse anymore. I usually just go to the web version of the store
I want, and that's it.
I find the thing that I want and I don't browse. So I don't think that's good, though. So I think all of those things could get better, and that's where I'm excited about next generation. And that may be a little weird that I'm talking about that instead of games, but there you go. What about you, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always interested in the next gen. I'm not terribly interested in spending hundreds of dollars.
Sure. Did you get a new television, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay.
The TV I was considering buying, the week I was considering buying it, it was on sale, and it has since gone off sale.
Okay.
By which I mean the price went up like $1,000.
Okay.
So I am going to hold off until that TV goes back on sale, and then I will buy it.
Okay.
Solid plan.
Solid.
Yes, it's a very nice TV that I have heard not but outstanding things. About the one I'm specifically looking at is an LG 65-inch OLED television. It has 4Ks.
That's a lot of Ks. That's all the Ks you want right now.
And for kilobytes of definitions. So, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like $2,800 right now, and when I was looking at it, it was on sale for like, maybe like 18 or 19, something like that. So
okay.
I'm gonna hold off for a sale on it, but yeah, eventually I will get the new TV.
But you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars. You don't want to drop hundreds of dollars on a next generation platform yet.
Well, that's not to say that I don't
look forward to. Yeah.
I mean,
what would you be most excited? Like, what's the thing? I don't know. What gets you excited about a next video game generation?
Crackdown 4.
There you go.
Announce that. Did you see we got Crackdown 2 is now free on
I saw
Xbox
that.
Live.
Yeah, it's
Crackdown 2 wasn't a good game.
It's backwards compatible now.
I know. I downloaded it. I don't know why.
For free.
No, for free, I'll take it.
Yeah. You know what though? I'm curious to see what happens with like PlayStation VR next gen.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
Yeah. I'm that's what's got me excited, is the potential there.
And whether they'll have that at launch or if it'll be a thing where the new hardware comes out and then VR lags behind.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see.
I thought for sure they were going to, they've done revisions of the PlayStation VR hardware already, but not to the extent of like bringing out different motion controllers. So they use the Move controllers that were basically from the PS3, like the PS3 era Move controllers. I thought for sure, because Vive has done new controllers, the Oculus controllers have been revised. I thought for sure we are going to see something for PSVR, but that has not happened yet. So, all right. Hacker alias S. Rob Hall says, "What would it take for Amazon, Apple, Google, etc. to break into the video games with buttons market?" And I don't know if you saw this. I guess it's a leak or it's like a render of Google Control Pad that they have a patent on that has been kicking around Twitter. It looks kind of terrible.
Yeah,
but Google has some kind of announcement coming up during GDC week that where they'll show all this stuff, and we'll see what sort of system and games are going to be played with this contraption.
Yeah,
but for now, we just have a look at the controller, and it doesn't look great. Right. But okay. Do we want Amazon, Apple, and Google to break into the video games with buttons market? I think
I don't really care. Like, it just, I don't know. They didn't go all that great the last time. Mid 90s, that sort of thing was happening. If you remember, it was tech giants that were doing it too, and it was just like, most of it was pretty mediocre.
Terrible.
Yeah,
so
and I think sometimes you get those tech demos that aren't necessarily like great games when it's a tech giant that doesn't know games.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you start talking about third-party support, you're really getting the same games on any new platform that you already have on the ones that you own. So what's the unique selling point of a console from Google? Like, that's what I'm curious about for their announcement during GDC. It's like, what is there anything that they can do that other game consoles can't? Or am I going to be playing the same games that I already am on a Google machine with a different control pad? I don't know. And I kind of felt the same way with Apple. As you know, I'm a big Apple fan.
You?
Imagine that.
I haven't heard that.
But yeah, the Apple TV plays games, and when that came out, when the new one came out that had the App Store, they pushed games a lot, and I never felt compelled to use that device to play games. I did play a few things on it just to try it, but I never felt like, oh, I'm going to boot up the Apple TV and play a game instead of booting up the Switch or PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. Like I use the Apple TV pretty much as a consumption device, watching video on Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon, but I don't play games on the Apple TV. Because part of it is I don't want to be signed on to Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or some yeah, I use the Apple TV only as a video device because I want to get away from games, I guess is what I'm saying. What about you guys? Interested at all in a new game system from any of those companies? No,
not really.
Shaking your heads.
Yeah. I can't get too enthused about that.
Okay, let's do this one from Hacker Alias, MLS Reserves. Who says, given your insights into multiple aspects of the gaming industry, what do you think was going through the minds of the Crackdown and Anthem developers just before and after reviews started hitting? How does social media affect their states of mind?
That would be rough. I mean, because we've all been there with more sort of traditional fixed products,
right?
I would think, and you know, before, for me at least, it was before social media was as big as it is, and that was rough,
right?
Like, you know, something comes out and people don't like, and it's like, oh well, that sucks, you know. I feel pretty bad that I just spent a whole year of my life, or 2 years of my life, or 5 years of my life working on something like this.
Yeah,
but I think for something like an Anthem, or I forget what the other one is that you just said, Crackdown. I mean, there'd be a level of that, but then also, I guess, Anthem, more importantly, where they would have a roadmap of what was coming that isn't necessarily clear to everyone. Right. You would kind of, I'm sure there'd be part of you be kind of screaming like, no, like that's going to change. That's going to be better. It's going to be different. Like, this is just step one of like 12 steps. That you probably can't do much about. So it'd be really frustrating, especially, because I think Anthem was pretty much raked over the coals when it came out, wasn't it?
Before it even came out, because they had the various tiers of being able to play it, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's right.
So before the day one patch even hit, before the official day one, you still had people playing it and commenting on it and not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is it's just harder to release a game in 2019 because there are so many opinions on it. Like, it's one of those things like never read the comments almost. Or I think in the cases of Crackdown and Anthem, what I have been impressed by is the transparency with which the developers have reacted to some of the criticisms, right? And how these products aren't fully formed on release day, which is it's a very weird thing to try to transition from what we think of as video games as final boxed product. This is the game, to how games are being released in 2019, which is this is version 1.0, and there's going to be updates to it, right? And I have really appreciated teams like the one at BioWare and the team working on Crackdown have done updates every week, and the Sea of Thieves developers did this last year too, like updates every week on what they're working on, what their roadmap is. And there's a couple companies, I think the Astroneer developers do this, where you can actually see their Trello board. Trello is like a management thing. So like there's a link in their patch notes to, hey, like come look at what we're working on now. You can see exactly what we're doing.
Crazy.
And that's crazy to think about, like having worked on games and released games before, and then thinking about how you do that in a world like where Crackdown exists and Anthem exists, and where you have to do a lot of that development stuff in public because, you see the feedback, and if it's going to take you a few weeks to address it, you're going to have to say something immediately because you don't want people to just, stop playing your game or not continue playing it and enjoying it. So,
right.
It's a very different time. I think a lot of people are still getting used to the idea that the thing they buy on day one is only a 1.0.
Right.
But that's the way a lot of games are going now. It doesn't have to be just Anthem or Crackdown. A lot of games are that way.
But I mean, I think too, like you said, don't read, like you said, that's sort of that old adage of don't read the comments. But I mean, in a situation like that where you're releasing a service game, you have to, because you have to react to what the community is saying. And also, I feel, again, like rank and file developer who's just poured their life into this thing, it sucks if there's negative reaction to it. But at the same time, you're in an industry now where, like you said, you do release basically unfinished products.
Yeah.
And kind of the business model's built around it. So you've got to expect that the reaction might be strong and it might be negative.
That's true. And from that standpoint, I think if you're on one of those teams, you do have to read the comments. And sometimes even the negative stuff, you have to read it and you have to think about, okay, like, does this person have a point? Like, there are the people who are blindly just saying this game sucks, I hate it, it's shit, blah, 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 blah. But when you try to dig down and say, okay, well, what don't you like? Like, how can we make this experience better? Like, that's where you get the real
find
stuff.
The nugget. Yeah.
You have to find. Yeah, and you might get that from somebody who really likes the game but has some feedback for you. Like,
and I mean, when it comes to balancing on anything that's like a PvP, with different equipment and things like that. I mean, you can do all the A/B testing that you want.
Yeah,
but until you get it out there and your community is thousands of people,
you don't really know.
You're taking a shot in the dark on the balancing for a lot of things.
That's true. So many of these multiplayer games now have analytics that are reporting back to developers, like, where are the most active points on these maps? Like, what are the weapons people are using? Is it overpowered? Like, and making these tweaks and balance changes, to all sorts of games. Like Splatoon 2 doesn't play the same today as it did when it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
In our chat there, L Young just said that games are relationships now, and that's absolutely the case. Yeah,
it's true. And I think that's a positive in a lot of ways, because if you find a game that you like a lot but has a few rough edges, like, you can start having a conversation with the developers of that game, and everybody benefits from that.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right,
there we go.
Let's wrap up with this one from Hacker Alias, Rich Grisham. I know that guy. Who says, do you have trouble choosing what to play with so many options available via PS Now / Game Pass / Games with Gold / PS Plus and so on, with nearly 1,000 titles to choose from at your fingertips? Are you overwhelmed or just a kid in a candy store?
I'm not overwhelmed, but one of the reasons why I don't take as much advantage of those services as I otherwise would is because I don't spend a lot of time playing newer games anymore, and when I do pick something, I tend to want to play through it.
Right.
So having thousands of games out there, there's nothing really tugging at me saying like, "Oh, come play me now," unless it's something that I'd be like, as an example, playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider because now it's on Game Pass. That was a game that I wanted to play last year. Didn't really happen. I didn't have the budget for it. And now, now I can see, oh, well, for my $12 a month, I can just play this whenever I want until it's gone. You know what I mean? So I don't find it hard to decide because I kind of decide ahead of time what I'm going to play. And I don't sample. I just don't sample anymore.
Yeah. I usually just I have a set of games that I'm looking forward to coming out.
Yep.
And I tend to just kind of stay focused on that. It's usually a game that I see and I'll just think, okay, yeah, that I'm interested in playing. Or if you guys recommend something that sounds like a game I would enjoy, it's like, okay, I'll put that on my mental list. But yeah, I don't I don't open up one of the shops and just kind of I don't get that sort of overwhelming sense. I can see why people would, because there is a crap ton of stuff available for a minimal subscription service fee.
Yep.
But, I think I'm focused enough to be able to pick what game I want to play. I'm not focused enough to play all the way through it because
to see it through, yeah.
Because I will get distracted by some other game, certainly.
Right.
But but yeah, I've not had any problems choosing, really.
Yeah, and for me, I play multiple online games that get updated with new content frequently, including Sea of Thieves. But if there's an update for something that I've been playing or that I've played a little bit of and left on the shelf, and there's an update to it, I'll come back to it. I'll decide to come back to it. Or if there's a game that I was curious about but didn't buy and now it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot. I'll give that a shot. Sure.
Yeah.
I did that with Just Cause 4 actually this week and didn't talk about it because I really didn't play a whole lot of it. But, I sometimes just open up the Game Pass window. This is a good thing about the way Microsoft has things structured, is that you don't even have to go into the store on the Xbox One. Right. You can just go into your My Games and Apps and see a tab of all the Game Pass games that you can install and play right now.
Yeah.
And that's much better than having to go into the store to do that. But no, I honestly don't feel overwhelmed. I think there's usually up to about a half dozen games that I might choose from on any particular evening, and I just go for that.
Now, that said, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you, CJ, where I will have maybe about half a dozen games kind of in active rotation at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I still get in situations where I won't know which one of those games.
Which one of those you want to play? Do I want to watch TV instead?
It's like, I kind of want to play Crackdown, but I kind of want to play Ace Combat, but I did just get Devil May Cry.
Yeah, and another thing with like playing through things right away, as we were talking about with the last question, like things that get updated and like they add new weapons to Crackdown, or they'll add the keys to the city thing, which they're doing soon in Crackdown 3.
Great.
Like if I had played through that game on day one, I would be less likely to come back to it, 8 weeks from release and play it with the keys to the city stuff.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is don't play through games immediately on launch day, I guess.
Yeah. There it is.
All right. Is that it? That good stopping place?
Sure. Why not?
Sure. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Generation 16 episodes that are coming out.
So close to done. I'm just dealing with the Actors Union on this one. As soon as we get that sorted out.
What?
The episode's ready to go.
A bit?
He's hired actors.
I've hired actors. And one of them's holding out for
I
don't know what he's holding out for exactly. I haven't figured that out. But hey,
is it
just saying. As of this recording, the new episode will be uploading tonight.
Okay.
If it wasn't for one of my voice actors.
Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Mark Hamill is holding out on you.
Lazy Bones.
And need some voiceover work, Greg.
He's available? You.
Oh, yeah.
I want my distinguished game creators from the 90s to sound
distinguished.
When I was creating
there you go.
There you go. On our website,
give me your Yuzo Koshiro. Give me your best Yuzo Koshiro.
Oh, there you go.
I like making music for video games.
See, I can't not laugh at it.
What are you talking? That's I mean, give me a line. Give me a line to read. Give me a line. You're something.
Okay, hang on. I'll get you. I'll get you a line.
Okay, give me a line.
I can't find a line.
Live audition.
Let's see.
Here, I'll pull it up
during the 90s, Beam Software's output was uneven, to say the least.
during the 90s, Beam Software's output was uneven, to say the least.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
In fact, if I get the lines from my other actor tomorrow and they're not that great, I may call on you.
Keep in mind, by the way, I wasn't even that was instant.
That was off the cuff.
And you know what? You weren't even reading it. You were doing it from memory.
Yeah. You read it to me, and I read it back. Yeah, I didn't not read it. I recited it back to you.
Are you in the union?
That was what? No.
Let's talk.
Boom. You don't got any union crap from me. All I expect is 30% of the profits.
Deal. the easiest 60 cents you've ever made.
You will also find the show notes and links in each episode. You'll find all the stuff we talked about. You messed me up.
We've thrown CJ off completely.
You messed me up. You'll find all the links to the stuff we talked about this episode on our website. And that includes a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up the Apple Podcast application. You can also visit. Let's see, I can't do it in the stupid voice.
No.
You can also, friends, head over to the App Store and invest $1.99.
Cheap.
To pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. It gives you one touch.
Kind of like an ASMR.
Gentle
Yikes.
Oh, this is no.
Please no.
You need a stereo mic for this.
One loving feel. Communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, the what have you.
You don't. No.
You also have all.
My daughter's watching this. Come on.
Huh?
Why is your daughter? Why? I still understand that.
I know she watches the
It's
show sometimes.
It's almost 10 o'clock down there. Put her to bed.
Ask Daddy to take you to see Captain Marvel. You'll enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You will. I also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android telephone user.
Cellophone?
Cellophone.
You wrap your leftovers in?
Yep. To keep your phone fresh.
Fresh.
Yep. You can drop it in the toilet, not worry about it.
Like Mark did to my Game Boy Advance.
That was your Game Boy Advance?
That was the bit. Anyway, it wasn't really my Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay.
But the world thought it was.
Okay.
Yep.
It's the illusion.
And you know what?
What's that?
The fact that the story was so plausible is what the problem really is. When you think about it. Doesn't matter that he didn't do it. It matters that everyone believed it without even a second thought.
Yep. Spinning that anti-Canadian narrative from the old EGM days.
Always.
Terrible.
Love you, Mark.
Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for you listen to the rest as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
Find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can swing by CJ's house anytime, day or night. Bring bring Oreos, and he'll let you.
Okay, that's okay.
There you go. Just, you know what? Set the Oreos on the doorstep and leave. And
don't do that.
When he goes out to get the mail in the morning, he'll have a nice surprise.
A lot of bugs here in the South, so maybe don't do that part. Leaving cookies outside.
That's the whole reason.
They'd be in a package, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine. Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw a handful of Oreo.
I would have.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
On your stoop? No, leave them in the package, man.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you can watch archives of our show. Watch us live.
I think the word you're looking for is archives.
Oh,
archives.
Archives. Enjoy archives of our show. They are super sexy. Archives. On the youtubes.com/P1 podcast. You can also head over. If you'd like what you've heard,
And how could you?
How could you? You can head over to patreon.com/P1 podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Gonna keep CJ swimming in Oreos because you ungrateful jerks won't leave him any.
That's right.
You're welcome, CJ.
Thank you, Phil.
I just okayed purchase of Oreos.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate it.
CJ, I've heard tell. They have the most stuff ever Oreo.
I am aware of that. Yeah.
If you buy a package of most stuff Oreo, and scrape all the stuff out of an entire package and place them between two wafers, and you can construct the legendary Omega stuff Oreo.
Okay.
And
I'll get right on that.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
I look forward to your funeral.
Jesus. Wow.
Well, I mean,
wow.
Dark.
Not getting any younger.
It's true. Go out with a big stuffy smile on your face.
That's right.
There you go.
Oreo and a smile.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. I will place an Oreo lovingly on top of your casket before it's lowered into the ground.
Please do, Phil. Promise me this. Promise me.
It seems cruel to say I hope you die before me.
I want you both to know that I'm thinking it.
And I can honestly say that I've never actually had that thought before.
Until now.
But now, geez, now I kind of want it to happen. Imagine the retweets.
Whoa. Jesus.
So worth it. CJ.
Yeah.
I hope you live forever.
Well, thank you. I hope you live forever as well.
Well, jeez. When I think about how many more years I have to do this nonsense.
I know, right?
And I don't know. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for bringing us all together on this day and every day.
For everything that you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Phil.
To a lesser extent, but
I deserve that.
That's okay. Sure. And thanks to me, least of all.
I also agree with that.
There we go. And of course, thanks to our lovely, lovely listeners. Remember, if you are a Patreon
subscriber, that's the word you're looking for.
I almost said survivor.
Yeah, well, that too. I mean,
weird.
Sometimes.
I'm just saying, maybe send me
happened.
Send me a script if you want to do. Might want to do the voiceover. I can read it. I can read it fine. Don't ask me to pick stuff up on the fly. I'll say the wrong word. If you are a Patreon subscriber of the $5, do we have higher tiers than $5?
Just $5.
That's it. I mean, you can
highest tier.
You can pay more if you want, but
you can if you want.
Do we have a lower tier? Do we have a $1?
Yeah, we have a $1. Yeah,
cheap.
You can pay what you want, but as long as you pay at least $5, you get access to the after show.
After show, the fantastic after show where we have fun and games and laughs and loves.
There's gonna be more of that tonight.
Excellent! I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next week, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're sticking around for the after show.